Streaming. What's up, everyone? Happy Saturday. A few announcements. So 7 years ago yesterday, I uploaded my channel trailer. And on June 8th, 2016, so that's in a few days, I put out my first video, which was about ear training. And I can't believe it's 7 years. It blows my mind. Done 1168. This, I think, 1169th video today. And I'm running my sale that I started running last week for my entire bundle, $89 for all 4 of my courses. I'm going to extend it through June 8th at midnight. It will stop. It's the cheapest I'll ever sell it for. But it's got my, we call it the anniversary bundle. It's got my Beato Ear Training, my Beato Book Interactive, my Quick Lessons Pro Guitar course, and my Beginner Guitar course. So 4 courses for $89, which is a ridiculous deal. So if you want to support the channel and become a better musician, actually, no, if you want to become a better musician and part of that supports the channel, then that would be a great thing. A couple other things. I have a show coming up in Sweden. For those of you from Sweden, if you're in Sweden, there we go. I see Christer Burrell. I have a show in Sweden, in Stockholm, at the Södra Theater on July 22nd. I've never been to Stockholm. Very excited about it. Can't wait. And I have a show on October 28th. Mike, if I got that wrong, tell me. It's in the description below. There's a link to buy tickets. I'll be in Berlin. Never been to Berlin. I went to Germany one time. I went to the Warwick factory and did this thing called GitCon back in 2018. That's where I met Phil X. I already knew Adam Neely back then, but a lot of YouTuber guitar players and musicians were there. It was a really fun time. The only time I've ever been to Germany, but that's when I did my What Makes Bach Great video, and I went to Leipzig to do a Bach pilgrimage. And I'm really excited to do that. So those are my big announcements for that. So we're going to talk about a band that I haven't talked about on my channel before, the Eurythmics. Now, I love Annie Lennox's voice. She's one of the finest singers. Oh my God, just amazing. Her and Dave Stewart are the Eurythmics. Their record Touch, which came out in 1983. Obviously, Sweet Dreams is a massively big song. We're not going to talk about Sweet Dreams. I love Sweet Dreams. But I want to talk about Here Comes the Rain again, because it's really a masterful song. It's a perfect song. And there's a lot of really interesting things to it. And it follows all the same things that we talked about when we talked about Elemental, Tears for Fears, when we talked about Ordinary World, Duran Duran. I'm thinking of all the 80s music that we discussed on the channel, even though Elemental was from 1993. All great songs, whether it's Nirvana or the Beatles or Bob Dylan or who doesn't matter who it is. They all follow these same principles. Every great song, if it's Drift Away by Dobie Gray, if it's whoever, all great songs follow these same principles, which we'll talk about. But I'm going to start the song here, start playing it, and we're going to talk about it as it goes on. Okay. I love it that there's a nice long intro on the song. Hear all the different layers and the beautiful guitar sound.
Here comes the rain again, falling on my head like a memory, falling on my head like a new emotion. I want to run
perfect vocal. I got chills. Okay, let's talk about the melody here. I'm going to bring up my chart here. We're going to do a little melody analysis so that you can learn what these people are doing. You know, everybody's like, I doubt that so-and-so knew this, that they were thinking of chord tones or not, or non-chord tones or whatever it is. It doesn't matter whether they know it, because I know it and now you can know it. That's right. That's what we call learning. You learn from these things. And you'd be surprised what people actually know. People that write hit songs have way more knowledge typically than you'd ever think. They know how progressions work together. They know how to write melodies that are rhythmically interesting, that have tension notes, things like that. They just hear it that way. Many of them actually know it. I did a songwriting session. I'm just going on a tangent really quick. I did a songwriting session, 15 years ago with Desmond Child. Desmond's written hit songs since the 70s, but he wrote with Bon Jovi, Living on a Prayer. He wrote Crazy with Aerosmith. He wrote Love in an Elevator, Aerosmith. He's had so many huge hit songs. And the first time I wrote with him, he wrote out these little slash marks, and we were writing a song. And he said, he always makes sure the verses have exactly the same number of syllables. The choruses need the exact same number of syllables. And he was very, very adamant about that. Right. And so I remember we were eating lunch and he had this little thing with slashes on it, and we'd be singing the melody and we'd be working on the words and making sure that the verses matched, that there wasn't different lines here. Okay, so let's talk about what's going on in the melody. So it's like this. It starts out in A minor. Here comes the rain again. So right there, it goes to the note B in the melody. Right there. Here comes the rain again. Right? This note right here, that note B is the ninth of the chord. And that ninth creates the angst, the sadness of it. There we go. Actually, this is not even right. It actually just stays on the B. Here it stays on the B. Rain again. I can't see it without my glasses. I can tell it goes to B. Oh, I got my glasses right here. Oh, there we go. Okay. But that thing, that ninth there that happens right there is very important. It's a tension note or an upper extension. Now, upper extensions, we talked about this with Elemental. We talked about this with all these songs. These are notes that are not part of the chord. They're the upper notes of the chord. So if you take an A minor scale, right? Just a straight A minor. So that would be the notes A, B, C, D, E, F, G. That's an A minor scale. A Aeolian, A natural minor scale. And you count 9 notes. I'm going to go like this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That note B is the ninth. It's a ninth above. You could say, it's the second too. Well, the second and the ninth are the same notes. The 4th and 11th are the same notes, and the 6th and 13th are the same notes. They're just up an octave. So that's why. But these notes are important because they give it a melancholy feel, or I call them haunting tones or color tones or upper extensions. There's many different things. When I interviewed Sting, I used different terms to see what he reacted to. I called them color tones. Then when I said haunting tones or surprise notes, when I said surprise notes, Sting's face lit up and he said, yes, I like the way that you use the word surprise. This is a surprise note. So it's dissonant against the chord. Here comes the rain again. That note is dissonant against the third. And it gives that rub, which creates a melancholy feel. Okay, and it sounds melancholy. Listen.
Falling on my head like a memory.
And right there, falling on my head like a memory. So right here at the end of the second line on the F chord, that is the sharp 11 or sharp 4. What is that again? That's an upper extension. So you notice what she's doing in the melody here. At the end of each phrase, she's going to these upper extensions because it gives it a dissonant feel. It's an unsettled feel, and it's beautiful, okay?
Falling on my head like a new emotion.
And falling on my head like a new emotion. On the G chord, I got to get in the screen here. So we got so this that's a dissonance on the G chord. That's a sus4 here. This note C. Sus4. These are real, and she's staying on it because it's all these tension notes are what makes this melody beautiful. It's not just the it's not just all the beautiful orchestration that's going on, the keyboards that Dave Stewart's doing, just genius. And you heard that the strings do these different arpeggios that happen. There's a lot of things that are going on in the strings that are outlining chords. You hear that? Listen, you hear that do do da da do da da do da da in the really fast keyboard part there. Well, if you put A in the bass, there's your ninth right there. It starts right at the beginning of the song, implying that minor 9 sound over the A minor chord. So when it happens in the verse, your ear is used to it. I love that. So on that A minor, this is a C major 7th arpeggio, and it goes down to 9th. The strings do that. So let me close this let me take this off the screen so I can have a little bit more on the screen. So this sound there over A minor gives you that. You get the 9 to the 3rd of the A minor to the 5th to the flat 7. That's an A minor sound. That's C major 7 over A. Love that sound. Beautiful, beautiful sound. Let's continue on. Let's talk about the chorus, the pre-chorus here and chorus. Hold on. Okay, all right. Okay, so you'll notice that every time the melody shifts here in the chorus, it changes. Every single phrase is slightly different. So it's like, talk to me. But, so the chorus starts here on the 9th. On the F chord, talk to me like lovers do. Major 7 to the root of the C major chord. So it's going from F major to C major in the chorus. So right here, this note F, brother, that's the 9th. We've seen all these 9ths. This note on the downbeat is the 7th of the C major chord. Okay, so once again, these notes, these upper extensions, they're beyond just the triads, and they add tension. But when you have this, you have a C chord, right, and you hear da da that wants to move up, that seventh. That seventh interval wants to move to the root. And when she does go to the root, it resolves the tension. That's why they're called tension notes. Okay? So you'll notice in every single measure on the downbeats, pretty much, there's a dissonant note. There's an upper extension, right? Oh, love that. And then it goes to this D major chord, and it goes on the D. Da, da. So it's going D to G. That D chord is not in the key in this in A minor. Okay, that F sharp's not in the key. That's a secondary dominant chord here. This chord, and this is a 5 of, we'd call this, since we're in A minor, call this a 5 of 7 of the flat 7 going to the flat 7 chord. G is the flat 7. So if we look at this chorus, the chorus actually goes to the key of C here. So the verse is in A, and then when we get to the chorus, we're in the key of C major here. So really, this is the 4 chord, and this is the 1 chord. Now, the analysis of these things, this Roman numeral analysis, is how we analyze music. This is really basic music theory. Some people call this the Nashville numbering system. In music school, you just call this Roman numeral analysis. But when you hear somebody say, oh, a blues is a 1-4-5, well, they're just saying what chords they are in a major key, okay? The 1 chord, the 4 chord, and 5 chord in a major key are all major. So the chorus is 4-1, 4-1, 4-1. I'm using, these are Roman numerals, right? Those you remember. And once again, you'll notice some other dissonance here. This is the 7th again. This here is the sus4. Every single thing. This is the 9th. Oh shoot! I don't even have my thing on the screen here. I just circled them in. Okay. So I just said here, this is the 7th right here. This uses the sus4, this note here on the C. It's the F against the C chord. Like lovers do, 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 do. Once again, dissonant note. The 4th and the 11th, the 4th is the 11th, sus11 if you want to call it. People just call it the sus4. But that note is dissonant and wants to resolve down a half step. Most of these dissonances, these upper extensions, the 9th is a half step away from the flat 3rd on A minor. The F on C is a half step away from the 3rd of the chord, which is E, right? So that 4th, those notes that are half step away from a chord tone are dissonant, which makes them sound melancholy or emotional. It gives them or haunting. That's where those things. Those are the surprise notes. But then when you get to here, I said this is a 5-7-5. If you're in A minor, it's really a or not 5-7-5, but it's really a 5 of 5, going to the 5 chord here. Since we're really in C, this is the 5 chord. But then it goes back to the verse here, which is in A minor. Okay, and then in A minor, this is the 1 chord. It's a minor 1, so it has a lowercase Roman numeral. This chord, the F chord, is the flat 6 major, and the G chord is the flat 7 major. That just gives you its function. This is very simple harmonically, meaning the harmony is very simple. But the note choices are really what makes this song great. All these note choices, the lyrics, they're beautiful lyrics, right? It's a really a perfectly written song. When I was thinking about what are great songs to teach people with, and I was like, this just popped into my head today because I was going through and I was listening to the Eurythmics and I thought, wow, that Here Comes the Rain Again is a perfect song. Everything about it. And it's also really economical. The melody is very economical. I love it too that Annie Lennox's voice, this is in a low register. Her voice is so warm in the low register. And her voice is just so full in all registers. It's just absolutely perfect voice. Annie Lennox is a phenomenal singer. And Dave Stewart's arrangements, all these things just come from you can't see my hands here. I'm doing my Italian. These parts just come out of nowhere. You know, the little string lines, the pizzicato lines, the keyboard things, the small guitar stabs that happen. Just once again, genius.
Raining in my head like a tragedy, tearing me apart like a new emotion.
Oh, Shaun, I love that. Oh, you hear that note?
Kiss like lovers do.
Na 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 na. Perfect harmony.
Is it raining with you?
Just that little keyboard in the background, little arpeggiator.
Like lovers do.
Perfect delay too. Woo! Then I love how there's nothing here. Ba, 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 ba. Okay, this is the only change here is it goes to this E minor here in the bridge section. But they lead into the bridge with ba, 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 da, da. They once again there's an arpeggio in the strings. Love that. Absolutely beautiful. So I wanted to make another note about this. I want to remind people that just joined. If you just joined, I'll be in Sweden on July 22nd. If you're in Sweden, put it in the comments here. If you live there, I'll be in Stockholm at the Södra Theater July 22nd. Tickets are available in the link below. I'll be in Berlin on October 28th. And I'm not going to try to pronounce the place that I'm playing in Berlin. Aaron taught me how to say it for my ad that I did on Instagram. I'm not going to embarrass myself. I had to practice it about 50 times or so. But if you're in Berlin, it's in the link below, tickets for it. And my Beato bundle, my anniversary, 7-year anniversary, which was yesterday of my channel trailer, and June 8th was my first video. So there's two different things. I put up my channel trailer on the 2nd, so yesterday, 7 years ago, and the 8th I put out my first video. My sale's going until the 8th, until midnight Eastern time on the 8th. It's $89. This is how you can improve yourself as a musician. Click on another thing. Don't leave the stream. And you can purchase it there. If you want to become a better musician, you get my ear training course. You can figure out these songs. It teaches you how to do that, how to hear the chord progressions, how to hear all the little melody lines, everything like that, all the interval relationships. My Beato Music Theory Interactive. It's a video course, okay, that's used to be my Beato book, but it's a huge music theory course that'll teach you all the nuances that I talked about how the theory works, how these Roman numerals work, how key centers work, how scales work within key centers, how you build chords using intervals, all that. And there's video lectures, all this kind of stuff there. There's audio examples for every example, and there's hundreds and hundreds of examples in that. My ear training, or my Quick Lessons Pro, which is more of an intermediate guitar course, and my beginner guitar if you don't play guitar at all. So that's my ad. Since I don't have a sponsored channel, my things, that's what I do for this. So So the thing I was going to say about this song, this is before cutting and pasting happened. Okay, 1983. If you listen to this and you were to overlay all the different choruses, Annie Lennox's delivery on every single chorus, her phrasing, every line is different. And this is something that people don't even realize. When you're listening to contemporary songs, most songs have cut and pasted choruses. They just do. Okay, most of the things, when I listen to the top 10 on Spotify, whether I'm listening to the pop charts, the rock charts, the unless they're maybe the indie rock charts, alternative charts or something, most of them are just cut and pasted choruses. They may replace a line here and there. Everything here is re-sung. What do I mean by that? I mean that they had to re-sing it because it's done on tape. And there's an intensity that happens that's different. Listen. Listen. Okay, she backs off and like lovers do. And then a little more intense there. More throaty sound on that. And then different, more intense. More intense, right? Let's go to the second chorus. A little more intense, right? Okay. Listen again. Okay, this is the second chorus. Listen. See, a little bit more intense than that. Stronger delay on that. Love it. That one has a little bit like she just hits that note a little different on there, which makes it every time when you have different performances from chorus to chorus, from verse to verse. Well, the choruses have the same lyrics. When you have different performances, people wait for those nuances. This is the thing that you don't hear when things are auto-tuned or they're just moved. When I say cut and pasted, they literally will take the grid. You'll get on grid in Pro Tools or Logic, whatever you're using. You'll highlight 4 bars and you'll say, okay, here's the first chorus. Cut and paste. Command C, Command V, and it pastes it in right there. And you have the exact same performance in the second chorus. Most of the songs that you hear on the radio are literally just the same performances, just cut and pasted. Because it takes them, most of these artists, it takes them 100 takes to get a good vocal take. And there was no auto-tune here, obviously, right? Annie Lennox doesn't need auto-tune. Oh, man. And they have different endings at the phrases. So these little things, this is what makes these songs, it makes you want to listen to them over and over again. The dissonances, the melodic variations, the tonal variations. And these are things that you should really, that you should focus on. These are the things that just casual listening does not uncover. A casual listener is not going to hear those things. I'm anything but a casual listener. I want you guys to become anything but a casual listener. And a casual listener is somebody that plays music as background music, instead of putting on headphones and really digging in and seeing what you're hearing. And that's really that's what this channel is. When I say it's a music appreciation channel, it's a learning channel too. It's like, how does music work? What are the elements that make up music? What are the rhythms that make a good melody? What are good rhythmic ideas that are hooky? What are good melodic ideas? Why do people use certain notes over and over? Why is she using sevenths, ninths, 11ths? Why does Sting do that? Every great artist does that. Why does Stevie Wonder do that? They all do the same things, but there's so many. It's the tracks that are different from that make a song, an R&B song or a pop song or an indie rock song. It doesn't matter. It's just the context of the way the arrangements are put together that give them the style, the genre. But the elements of music, okay, what are the actual tones against the chords? What are the rhythms that they're using? those are the things that are universal to all genres of music. If we're listening to a raga, if we're listening to a whatever it is, these elements are it's part of the overtone series, right? These things are found. These dissonances. There's no, you can hear them. When I hear this A minor, when I hear that da da, I hear that ninth and the flat third of the A minor chord. That dissonance there creates a mood. If I change the octave and make it a major 7, it has a different vibe. This is still B and C, but it's C below B. This is C next and B next to each other. Okay, those are called sharp dissonances. I spend a lot of time at the beginning of my Beato Book Interactive where I talk about intervals. I talk about consonant intervals. I talk about dissonance intervals, sharp dissonances, mild dissonances, and why they give you a certain feeling. Okay, so, and once again, people are like, oh, I'm sure they weren't thinking about these things. No, they may not have been consciously thinking about these things, but they know how to write these things. They know how to use them, even if it's not something that they're doing consciously. And you'd be surprised how many songwriters actually know what they're doing. The people that can write hit song after hit song, those people actually do know what they're doing. They know exactly. They sit there and they go, They hear that dissonance. Annie Lennox hears that dissonance against that bass note, that sharp 4, and it sounds good to her. It has tension with it. She went to it on purpose. Anyhow, so this is how you learn about how music is put together. Check out my Beato bundle. It's on sale, $89 for all 4 courses total. That's it. It's one-time fee. It's not like a, get charged every year or anything like that. This is you buy it and you have it. It's on sale until the 8th, which the 2nd is the anniversary. Yesterday was my 7-year anniversary of my channel starting. I've got almost 1,200 videos. I'll be there in a few weeks. And June 8th is the 7th anniversary of my first video, which is like, I forget what it's called. It's like how to develop a perfect ear or something like that. Part 1. I think I called it Part 1. And my first video has, I want to say 1.6 million views, something like that. Now, when it came out, it had 20 views. And I had about 50 videos out before I had a video that hit 1,000 views. So it took a long time. For those of you future YouTubers or current YouTubers, hang in there. It can happen. You can be successful, but you got to be in the game to win. You gotta play the game. You gotta show up. Right? That's the thing. What's the secret to show business? Showing up. You guys are amazing. Have a great rest of your weekend. And hopefully I'll see you guys, those of you in Sweden and in Germany this summer. We'll talk soon. See you guys. Thanks.